Hello everyone, welcome back to This Day in Weather. If you're just joining this channel, this is where you can learn about weather events that occurred in the United States on the date the video was posted in years past. Today is December 31st. On this day in 1876, southern Arkansas was hit by a heavy snowstorm, with places seeing well over 20 inches. 28 inches were reported near Warren, and 24 to 28 inches were reported in Arkansas City. The snow lingered well into January 1887. On this day in 1967, the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers were playing the NFL Championship Game in Green Bay, Wisconsin, in what would become known as the Ice Bowl. The temperature at kickoff was minus 13 degrees with a minus 36-degree wind chill. The Packers beat the Cowboys 21-17 and would meet the Oakland Raiders in Miami, Florida for Super Bowl II, then known as the AFL-NFL World Championship Game. The Packers beat the Raiders in the Super Bowl 33-14. On this day in 2000, the 2000 Sanford Independence Bowl between the Mississippi State Bulldogs and the Texas A&M Aggies took place in Shreveport, Louisiana. The game became known as the Snow Bowl because snow started falling around a half hour before kickoff and continued throughout the whole game and didn't stop until well after the game. The Mississippi State Bulldogs won the game 43-41.
On this day in 2010, there was a tornado outbreak that started the day before and continued the following day. Specifically, one of the tornadoes went through Fenton and Sunset Hills, Missouri. The tornado initially touched down at 11:48 a.m. approximately 1 mile east of Murphy, Missouri on Lakewood Road in far northern Jefferson County. The tornado moved through the area and eventually reached the Fenton City Park and crossed the Meramec River a half-mile north of Highway 30. Most of the tree damage was minor over this area. The tornado then paralleled Watson Road and crossed it near Bond Road, where three separate large trees damaged a house, a vehicle, and a garage. The tornado continued northeast and crossed Interstate 270, 2 miles southeast of Interstate 44. Just east of I-270, the tornado paralleled Old Watson Road, in which an intermittent path of damage was observed. One home northeast of I-270 sustained minor roof damage, and a second home further northeast experienced shingle and tree damage. The damage over this area was rated EF1, while the damage width was 50 yards. The tornado then neared Lindbergh Boulevard, and many trees in Watson Trail Park were snapped or uprooted. 7 homes along Old Watson Road sustained varying degrees of damage. Peak intensity was EF3 with 145 mile-per-hour winds. 2 homes lost their roofs, and most of the exterior walls collapsed. Several homes along Court Drive sustained significant damage. The worst damage occurred on the east end of Court Drive, in which 4 homes had large portions of the roof removed, and 1 had several walls collapsed. Damage intensity was rated EF3 with wind speeds near 150 miles per hour. 1 home was completely demolished and moved less than 50 yards from the foundation. A brick veneer garage was also destroyed by the tornado. Further north on Lindbergh, a medical facility also sustained heavy damage. Damage over this area was rated EF3, but the demolished home was rated high-end EF3. Damage width over this area was a quarter mile. The tornado crossed Lindbergh near Court Drive and crossed over a strip mall. 2 cars and a delivery truck were tipped over in the parking lot. Several windows were blown in on the stores in the strip mall, and a greenhouse behind and adjacent to the mall suffered roof and water pipe damage. The tornado made a turn to the east-northeast and crossed the east end of Woodfox Drive. About a dozen pine trees along the east end of Woodfox Drive were blown over, all lying to the north. 8 homes on Woodfox Drive suffered roof damage, and several trees were either pushed over or snapped off about halfway up the trunk. The tornado crossed Woodpark Drive, where it caused roof damage to 3 more homes and a downed large oak tree. One home had the roof lifted and partially removed. The damage path width from Woodfox to Woodpark was 300 yards wide and was rated EF1. The tornado then turned a bit to the northeast and crossed Eggerling and Gladlea Drives. On Eggerling, 4 homes suffered roof damage and several trees were downed. On Gladlea Drive, 3 homes suffered roof damage and several more trees were downed. This damage path was 150 yards wide and rated EF0. The tornado crossed East Watson between Lynn Lane, Watson Woods Court, and Cathy Court. On Lynn Lane, a couple of trees were snapped off and 2 homes suffered roof damage and had windows blown in. This portion of the damage path was 100 yards wide and rated EF1.
This tornado was responsible for 1 death and 6 injuries. As part of the outbreak, there was also one in Cincinnati, Arkansas, with highest winds at 140 miles per hour and was responsible for 4 deaths and 10 injuries. The entire outbreak caused 9 fatalities, 32 injuries, and close to 139 million 2010 United States dollars in damage. In 2024 United States dollars, that would equate to close to $200 million. That will close up this edition of This Day in Weather, but be sure to stay tuned in because whenever there's a new video, you will learn about weather events that occurred in the United States on the date the video was posted in years past. Please hit the thumbs up button to like this video. Please hit the subscribe button to be sure to never miss a new video. And if you're just joining this channel, please check out all the other videos that have been posted on this channel.